whakarongo ki te tangi a te kori mako. Kōrero flowing out the hook of force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā kona whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira hira whakarongo pi kari kari mai. Hare hare mai, o Taringa hare hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody. Gather up close everybody. Kani move that body. Kani move that body.
Whakatairangi tia, e rere te kupu, e rere te kōrero ki tēnā taringa, koiara e mau mai nai, mau atu nei, koiara, ko koutou, ko hoki mai anei ki te punu o pāho. O Taringa e whakapāho atu ana i te poka pū tonu o Taringa, anei mātou, tēnei wehenga o ngai taringa e mihi nei kia koutou, ngai taringa nau mai, whakapiripiri mai, whakatatata mai.
Kia ora tātou.
That in one breath.
One breath, e hoa mā.
That's whai kōrero training.
Whai kōrero training, klakia training. Ko waruware iau te kupu mo taua mahi rā, te taki te hākotahi.
E taki manawa.
E taki manawa, kia ora koe.
E taki manawa. Anei mātou, ko Puaheiri, ko Erika, ko Māo ko Puaheiri kei konei, kei te bustling metropolis.
Bustling metropolis.
Hoi anō. Kia ko te atu ki tā tātou kiwaha.
Kiwaha.
Ara nā rawakitanga o tēnei kiwaha, engari ke timatau ki konei. E wiri ana ngā papa, ne? Nā ko te papa, kaua ko te floor, ne?
Ai, kaua ko te floor.
Engari, if you sat on the floor, you would be sitting on your papa.
Ai.
Yeah. And maybe no reira mai te tikanga o tērā kupu papa.
Ai.
He kupu anō tēnei mo te buttocks.
Buttocks. Rump.
Mohi ana te nuinga ki te nono.
Ai.
Ki te kumu.
Kumu.
Te tau. Te whero.
Te whero, ai.
There you go, as well. E whāngā kupu ki te nono.
Wow.
Engari, specifically, ko te papa, ko ngā buttocks.
Buttocks.
Ko te iwiri ana ngā papa, your buttocks are shaking.
Are shaking.
And it's not because you're twerking.
That's what you call a papa ringa, because ka hea ngā ringa ki te papa, e wiri ana.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
harai te mea, twerk ana ko e wiri nei o papa. But e kōrero tērā mo te mataku.
Kia ora.
Yeah. And e tauira mai ana I roto I te waiata hitara wahauka. Wahauka. And they can say that like, ka wiri ana papa te mataku e. So yeah, Hitler's buttocks were shaking with fear.
With fear.
So koe rā tērā. Now, you know, hei tauira tēnei, have you seen the new horror? Haere koe ki te mātakis. E wiri ana ngā papa.
Ai, wiri ana ngā papa.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, this is recorded a week before the... No, I don't want to jinx it.
No, don't. And how we got here?
was, yeah.
He whakaro anō kōrua ki tērā kiwaha.
Nā, ko te pai, ko te ātāhua ki ahau nei, e titiro ana ki te tirohanga Māori, ki te tinana e tohu ana I tētahi āhua.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't go, oh, geez, her ass was shaking from fear.
Yeah, and I think you know e tai en kia moe mai koe te, because kei pēnei mai koe tau, ako ake nei, kōrero ai mātou ki a koutou, meki ka Wānanga mātou I te Puhoro o te Puaheiri. Ka anho tērā hei tua papa.
Ai.
Is that word again?
Yeah.
Ai.
Hei tua papa mō tēnei tikanga 101.
Kia ora.
Ne? Engari, ia koe kōrana mo te whakaro Māori. Ākua nei pia, tēnei kiwaha ki anga rānei, iahu mai I te pakanga, we nā tupuna wō maro, ngā tāne.
Ai.
Perhaps I te taua e tūana, you know, e wiri ana ngā papa.
Ai.
You know, and I don't think it was mataku whenei, but ākua nei ko te wehi, te mataku I mui, te pakanga, who knows?
Ai.
You know,
te matarerehu.
Yeah.
Tika. And I just had a vision too, a quick, whakaro that perhaps it's when they're running off and then wiri ana ngā papa I tō rātou whatinga atu I te riri.
Yeah. So, koe rā te kiwaha.
Koe rā te kiwaha e wama.
Wiri ana ngā papa.
Wiri ana ngā papa.
Okay, so koe rā, I konei māua e Wānanga na hea te kiwaha e pāna ki te Puhoro. Ka whakara, tēnā, tirohia te wāhanga o te tinana.
Yeah.
Kei reira he kōrero. Engari kia hoki mai ki te kaupapa o tēnei tikanga 101. Me taku mihi ki a koe tai, tuatahi ake I tō whakaaro ki a tāngia o o rehe. Tuarua.
Ooh, rehe.
Ai, there's got to be a lot of kupu hou come out of this.
Is that thighs?
Yeah, and tuarua, tō whakai mai kia noho tēnei hei kaupapa kōrero mā tātou i tēnei rā. I nā hoki, i a māua ko o i taku whakarongo ki a koe no ko tō whaia, no kōrua ko tō whaia, ka peka mai ki a māua ka rongo i ngā kōrero. Ka pai nei kōrero.
Yeah, pai katoa, pai mutinga.
Yeah, and you know, we had a little pre-Wānanga. And there's quite a lot of kōrero tukuiho in terms of when it comes to mataora, kauai. Ana, i konei mātai Wānanga, hea nā kōrero, but yeah, first and foremost, koe rahe mihi ki a koe.
Kia ora,
Yeah.
tēnā koutou. Wa he pai hei Wānanga mā tātou.
Ai.
Mo te hunga ko tāngia, mo te hunga e whakaaro ana kia tāngia rātou. You know, so I think the disclaimer first is, koinei nahe nei taku kōrero. This is my unique experience.
Tēnā koe.
And, you know, perhaps you might find some kōrero that can help you or you can understand from your own experience.
Kia ora.
But I think the big thing we want to talk about is ngā mahi tapu I whakamahia.
Yeah.
I whai whiako I roto I nei mahi.
Yeah.
Even though that it was as practical and as pragmatic as the tohunga took me through,
Kia ora.
he mahi tapu katoa, like just his, yeah. So what's our entry point here? So,
Well,
Yeah.
anei oku whakaaro, he aha o whakaaro I te tuatahi.
Yeah.
I mua he aha tō ngākau. You know, I tauai o whakaaro koe nei tō pīrangi. You know, kia taia o kia whiwhiko I te taurape.
Te taurape,
Yeah, so me timata ki reira, koe rā oku whakaaro.
Ua, ka timata tēnei kōrero I aku tau te kau.
Kia ora.
Ki te ahau e taku māme tuhi ana I ana puka magazines rā, tāngi ana, tuhi ana ngā moko ki ngā kirituhi.
Oh, yeah.
Ki ngā whakāhua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ko hau e tāwhai ana I ngā mahi I ki te ai au I te Kiriata Once Warriors.
Right.
Because me pono koina
Yeah.
te tauira tuatahi ki te ai au. And I was like, whoa. Well, you know, we always knew there was moko or what, but these were quite elaborate of the time. Ka mea mai taku whaia, pēnei he hena koe ki te tāmoko, ka haere ki tō Ankara. Gordon Hatfield at the time, Gordon Toy. E nā reire I whakatoa ai tētahi kākono, tētahi whakaaro ki roto I au.
Yeah.
And you know, this is in hindsight, it's not something you hold on to. But there were times like my 21st, I thought, yep, this is the time. Nah, didn't happen. And then I was lucky enough to reach 40 years old this year. And I thought, and last year, the year before, I thought, no, koe tēnei ko te wā. E rite ana te ngākau. It's not as if, I don't know, you know how when you really want something and it's as unique as I think it is, and kāre he herenga, ko whakatahangi a tama roto, I knew, yep, ko rite au.
Yeah.
And it was my one to acknowledge, koina te kōrero, ia kōrero, it was acknowledge whakapapa, acknowledge a stage in my life, and to get a puhoro, but also from my whanaunga, Gordon Toy.
Yeah.
So koia tēnei ko te tohunga
Cool.
I tā I taku kiri, and he mohi o nōna ki taku whakapapa.
Yeah.
O tētahi taha ōku. Nā reira I māma ake ai te mahi ki aia.
Kia ora.
Yeah, so yeah.
I a koe kōrero ana, you know, mo te mohini, you know, ko hau huki tērā.
Ai.
You know, to put moko on everyone.
Yeah.
Mum's Women's Day and Women's Weekly.
Yeah. I
And
think that
then-
was the tutu of the day, yeah.
My first, like, where I thought a puhoro e harai te me tutu was the Pōwhiri mo te Polynesian Festival I tērā wā I whāngare.
Ai.
Kai matataki.
Ai.
But the first puhoro I recall seeing, like, you know, a good photo of was, ana, tēnei ka mihi ki ai, kia Piri Shasha. He was on the front
Oh, yes.
of
Yeah,
Mana.
that's
koia
right. On the
tēnā.
Mana magazine.
Ai.
Yeah.
With his mere pounamu.
With his mere
eh?
pounamu, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was that sort of time when there was a resurgence
Yes.
of
Yep.
puhoro.
Yep.
Recall, I think, Amsteridi.
Amsteridi, ai.
Yeah, so...
Koina taua paki pūmeka and I te tā Derek I tētahi no, well, no nā ingari no whanganui a tara. But it had Amsteridi, it had, matua rā. Shasha ni te kōrero ia mo ruakapanga.
Right.
That was the first time I heard, who or what is ruakapanga? And he talks about having a dream of the bird ruakapanga picking him up.
Yeah, the bed.
Yeah, and that's what got put on his tuara.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that too. But those and because it was so rare at the time, it was just amazing. But I remember falling in love with the art at a young age, and it was all those times. So anything I saw was, you know, all the books.
Yeah.
You can have a look at it, yeah. But yeah, that's how I
No reira koera te kākano.
Koera te kākano.
I whakatongia ki tō ngākau.
Ai.
Ka noho moi ki reira mo tētahi wā, ne?
Mo tētahi wā kia, you know, I whaenu mea taua kākano e tō tātou reo.
Kia ora.
Mea tātou tikanga. And that's the criteria I gave myself, was until I was comfortable with my language and our tuakiritanga Māori.
Kia ora.
I knew I was able to, and according to my own tikanga, e hoa ma, you know, my own criteria, I was ready to receive or have the puhoro unveiled in my skin.
Kia ora.
Yeah.
O paitera kōrero.
Yeah. You just know, when you, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Well, when you know, it's on.
Yeah, you know.
And kāre aku maharahara ki te mamai. I mohi au, ko te mamai. You know, ako I wiri tonu nei, you know, aku papa.
Yeah.
I mohi au, whether I was kicking or screaming or lying in the heat of it, I was coming home with a puhoro.
Yeah, you just knew you were going to go through it.
Yeah. And this is the part I really want people to understand, is the brilliance of, e ne mihi ana ki taku matua Gordon Toi. He tohunga ia. Tohunga whakairo, timata ia ki te institute, ki te puia.
Yeah.
I tētahi tau, kai waiho tērā kōrero ki ai hoino. Katahi ka huri rātou, etahi o rātou ki te uhi tāmoko. And so he's got years of experience. And, you know, what I realised at the time was, I thought he was going to hang me like a beast from a meat hook and just cut me up until I was done and then send me home. But no, this person, he has refined his tikanga, his whakaritenga.
Yeah, take us through the process.
Yeah, so the process is, right, okay, I want to get a tamoko. Here's the dates I've got. Yeah, here's the date. Here's the price. Kapai, done. And then he never got a hold of me. And then I wanted to ask more questions, but I knew if I asked too much questions, I'm going to create a picture and then I'm going to create expectations.
Yeah.
So that was my first...
And barriers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought, no, just leave it. And kia whakapono ki te whakaritenga. And koina hoki tāna ki hau. I said the night before, I said, hey, I've never had any ink. What shall I do? And he goes,
Wow.
That's my first thing.
Wow, big one too.
Yeah. Oh, bro, we go big. But and he said, trust the process, I'll see you at the airport. And that just gave me confidence, like, oh, well, you know.
Yeah.
And it's funny, in hindsight, I met him, kei whakatū ia e noho ana. And he has his own setup in his whare. And what he's done, and this is a whakaritenga that he's refined over the years, is having the kaiwhiwhi, the recipient, stay with him, just on his own.
Yeah.
Because what he can do there is control the environment, where they live, how the kaiwhiwhi is, how the recipient is, and he can read how they are. That was the part I was really amazed about. And he's reading you how you are as a person from the time you meet him. And the thing is, he's taking you into his whare.
Yeah.
And his beautiful wife, Ivanka, and his son, Tumanako, they all live together. They're part of the whole kaupapa. So you're actually becoming part of the family for the time. And their job is to take care of you. So for me, kia kore au e mate I te moke. Ki aku tamariki, I whāngai au I a tumanako.
Nā, kāre kore, you know, I just want to jump in here.
Yeah.
E whakarongo ana e tehi, and cause koera taku pātai ki a koe ne,
Yeah.
ne kōrero.
Yeah.
I nāia ne, kāre au I te takahi I te rāhuatangi, te me pai ki au, e ki tāna I nā whakaahua, ana ko Erika ko kei I tētai moko papa koe.
Ai.
You know, how was that? Hey,
Yeah.
Cause kua whakatapu hia, kia whaiti kia koe.
Ia, ko hutia koe I tō ao,
Yeah.
tō whānau.
Yeah.
Koe rā tāu e kororo ne? Yeah. It was the best thing. I think it's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you're going to have support, but it depends on how you think you look towards your family and all that. It can be more of a burden mentally. And so that's what I mean about...
I can definitely see how that,
Yeah, and Gordon's done this. He goes, I've tried it all, bro. I've had people here, I've had witch doctors, everything. It's all distracting. I can't get in, and my recipient can't get into the mode. It's about getting your mindset.
Yeah.
He mahi whakatapu tērā. E whakatapu ana koe I o whakaaro, kia oro pai koe ki te mahi. And he goes, you know, bro, and because he tangata tōtika, you know, he koitana arero I etahi wā. And he goes, you know, bro, unicorns and galagalas aren't going to save you. It's you and the needle. It's me, you and the needle.
Yeah.
But you need to trust me. I got you, you know. Yeah. And so, that's part of his whakaritenga. And he mahi whakatapu. And it seems quite pragmatic and practical, but that's the part. Koina te tirohanga Māori nei. And so, you get to his home. He wāhi whakatau. Ka whakatauri au e rātau. Ka mihi a te haukainga. Ka mihi a ngā mana whenua. Era katoa ana. Ka whakawhiti kōrero. And ka maharau ki tāku ki atu ki ai. I said, you know, i waiho aku whānau ki te kāinga, ko au nahi kei konei, ko taku katoa, ko taku tinana, kei a koe, anei taku manoa, anei taku hinengaro. And it was a big thing to actually say first, and that was my first leave my whānau at home. I said, e rongo anau te mahana o te ahi kā ki te kāinga, e pai ana, ko pai rātou. And that was a big thing mentally to be there and all of yourself there and everyone else leave them. Yeah. And it's only so you can work on yourself, because koina te mea nui, you're working on your mind, you know.
Yeah.
And I just got to get ready. And my main goal,
It's one of those spiritual retreats.
Well, it is. It's a spiritual retreat, and you know, there's a lot of them, and they work well for a lot of people. However, for me, this was a positive Māori male masculinity type of thing. You know, e tika katoa.
Yeah.
Ko ana he aua aho, ngā iho matua, iho take o e rā mahi. Ngā aka matua o tēnei kaupapa. Yeah. And so, and then he said to me, ka pai bro, nei te wātaka. So you get your own place to stay, your own wing to stay in as whare, and you actually stay in the studio. That's a fold-out bed. And goes, nei, bro, this is where you sleep, bro. 6 a.m. every morning, I want you up, showered, ready, stay in here until we come and get you. 7 o'clock breakfast. But from 6 a.m. to 7, you're getting yourself ready, get our area ready, have your bags put away, shower, all that, be ready. And he goes, don't come out until we get you. And of course, I whati taku tikanga. I went out early, hadn't had a shower. Because, you know, you've also got these ideas, you know, because you're exposing yourself. You're in total vulnerability. So you've got to work on that stuff, get rid of that. And, you know, I have my tātou katoa. We have our tikanga, our ritenga ia ata. You know, ka rau e tiko kia inu rāno au taku kawhe tuatahi. You know, e rā atu mea?
Yeah.
And then he put me straight the first morning. He goes, bro, what did I tell you? 6 a.m, be showered, be ready. Don't F it, and there's a lot of Fs in there.
Ana i aha koe, hea tāui, hea te mei whati a koe.
Well, I didn't listen to what he said. I come out about 6:30, hadn't had a shower, and but he puts you straight away. But that's him controlling the environment and keeping you on straight. And koina tana mahi, e pānui ana i tō whanonga, i tō āhua, i o whakaaro. Kia kite ai, mena rāne e pai ana koe. Because then sometimes he said that he's had to really work on the person. So, anyway,
It's just like reminding me of like when they're doing carvings for wharenui and they keep them separately in the shed and, you know, no females or, you know, certain people are only allowed to go in there. It's like you're like that tapu carving.
Well, you're the koia, ko koe te pau, ko koe te rākau ka whakairohia. Yeah. And I think, you know, it doesn't surprise me if that whakaaro comes from there too, because he tangata he kai whakairohia.
Well, koe rana tikanga i nā rātau ma.
Well, and koe hoki te tikanga i ako nā e rātau. And so
I love that.
That's the part I really appreciated. And then, ata is mihi in the 7 a.m. we're all in, so we've had breakfast. And another one is, he goes, bro, don't touch the dishes. Your job is you. And don't touch the dishes. And he got real ticked off when I took my place and he goes, bro, what the freaking heck did I tell you? But he goes, bro, I want you to work on yourself. Don't worry about the dishes. Don't worry about anything. You get up from the table and you leave. I know you're not used to this, but And he mahi whakatapua no te rā mahi.
Kia ora.
You know, koina te mea ki te ai. And then, so you get in then when we have mihi, and then we have karakia, and there's a karakia there. Ko whatever, I think Laurie Nichols wrote.
I haven't heard that name in years.
Yes, well, he hoa no rā, te rangi kaihoro. And that's a karakia, and in there karakia has ti pata hai, e rā whakaro katoa, te hai kiri. And that's the time where I used those to be switches. Koina te mana o te karakia, ne? I have to remember parts of it, but it talks about going down, receiving, but there's a middle part where it talks about cutting the skin. And I was like, okay, here we go,
Yeah.
And then we did our rapes in the first day.
Nā hea te rape.
Cool.
Ko te rape, ko te papa, ko te kumu, and koina te wāhi i whakamātautau tuatahi mo te tangata, ne?
Right.
And in hindsight, I think it's because, you know, kia mohe mai koutou, he mamai te mamai, hono, ko te rape, koina te wāhanga e kite ai i te āhua, o te tangata.
Yeah, and probably the logical thing too is that's where there's heaps of skin, eh?
Yeah.
So anything, the less skin, the more pain, is
Yes,
that right?
absolutely, yep.
And less
Yep.
fat.
Less fat, yep.
Hey.
Yeah.
Not saying that you got a fat ass, but I think anybody, that's where your gluteus maximus.
Gluteus maximus, koia hoki. And then it intros other parts as it gets on the exterior of your rape, different parts where it gives you sort of
Different
previews of like,
sensitivities.
ooh. And I was, because I had been, you know, we've been working on breathing, meditation, yoga, and after he drew it up. Another thing with rape from a design point of view, from my understanding, it's what anchors the whole design. And it takes a while because you need them straight. And he goes, oh, you got a wonky hip, eh? So I had to stand in a certain way where my rape were straight. So there's a lot of...
Otherwise your rape would have been cross-eyed.
Oh, yeah, like me be like this. I'd have to stand, I have to have a heel high, I have to wear a high heel on my right, so it's aligned. So there's the design point of view. Yes, yeah, and according to rape and the takarangi represents te wehenga o rangi nui rawa ko papa.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And he says that's where you get all your, hey tāna, in your rape, that's where you get, well, this is what he says, that's where you get a lot of or this is where you get raru from, or this is where you carry raru. Yeah, so that's why you've got te wehenga on there. And that's koina te rere te kōrero hei ko tāna.
Okay.
Yeah, and so when he goes, righto, here we go, bro. And one of our kōrero a lot was steady the waka. So ko tāna kaupapa, rā tuatahi, ngaru nui, and e toru ngā wahanga o te kaupapa, ngaru nui, ngaru roa, ngaru pai whenua. So ngaru nui was the first big wave, how you get onto the sensations. And yeah, so talking about the breathing, he did his first initial cuts and I was like, and he goes, bro, you need to bring your breathing down because you're not going to survive these days.
Yeah.
You're going to get exhausted.
Yeah.
And so then again, I had to find...
Wow.
So while you're getting the needle and you're actually internally, sorting yourself out, like how to receive it.
Yeah.
Well, this is how it occurred to me. And I knew...
I love it how he was just so straight up and telling you.
Yeah.
We're mohio, eh?
Mohio,
Yeah.
And he is reading you. He can feel you. And he's done enough people to understand the reactions, physical reactions of it.
Yeah.
And there were times where he would go, beautiful, beautiful focus, bro, beautiful focus. Because he can tell when the muscle is relaxed, fully relaxed.
Yeah.
And he goes, when the muscle's relaxed, the skin opens up easier to receive. And And so that was the big part. And that was the part when... What have we done? What have we decided on? Maybe we aren't ready for this. I got something to say. Nah, but yeah, that was 4 hours. First day was 4 hours. Yeah. And it's all about in your mind.
Ana i te rā wā, i te roa, te rā te whahaora.
Ai.
Hey, ana ko te rape... Anake tēnei.
Ai.
Nā, e wāte ana koe ki te inu ai, ki te
Ai. Hei ko tāna perks of te kāhui tapu. The stretcher. Yeah, mahi nui tā te stretcher, he kaimanaki. Anō nei he nehi ki a koe.
Yeah.
And māna o hia katoa e whakatutuki.
Right.
So ko ia ka haria, ka tiki ake i te wai, ka whakahoki mai te kai, kawhe.
Yeah.
And we kept our break short. Just so we can stay in the focus time.
Ana.
Yeah. And it's hare te mei, hākari ia wā tina, ne? Because ka pautera.
Yeah.
Ka pautera i e rā mahi. So,
yeah.
And he'd come away and then we'd have a protein shake or something like that, just something little, and we'd be drinking a lot of electrolytes at that time just to stay up. And he talked about a window, ne?
Yeah.
He goes, we're going into a window, and depending on your mind, that window can either close quickly or we've got to work hard to keep it open. And i reirei whakaro ake au ki te kū wata.
Kia ora.
Yeah.
Kū wata. Hei, tā etahi koina te kuaha i heke ai a matora ki rarohinga. Hoino etahi atu ko ia te kaitiaki o te kuaha. And so, yeah, that's where my thought went about maintaining that window. And that window was like your concentration, because koina te mea whakangenge, whakaruha ia koe ko te...
Ana kei reira, and as we've done some unpacking of contextualizing kōrero tuku iho and, with hotu. And it's cool, you bring that up because even though kare aku tā moko, but I've recently thought of that, ngā taongo rarohinga.
Ai.
And, you go into the deep, dark space.
Koia hoki.
Ne.
You do.
Koia hoki. Yeah. And
You
this
got to
is
go
what,
into another realm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying to others now from this understanding, from the
Yeah.
experience. So kōrero, experience. And I said, like I heard another bro, he's going to get his done. And I said, e haere ana koe ki raro hinga.
Yeah.
You know, just to bring those that kōrero up.
You imagine, you know, ko te pū tēnei nera.
Ai, te pū, yeah.
Now you imagine in ngā wā mua, you would have gone to bloody Rarohenga, all right?
Oh, yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
ki te uhi matarau,
Yeah.
te uhi matarau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Ooh.
the chisels.
The chisels. And e mahi scarification ke tērā.
Yeah.
You know, mo te mataora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Interesting, yeah. And it was there in the rape, the day one, and we did well. Good sitting, but it was a great introduction into, one, finding myself under the needle.
Yeah.
Kia ora.
And experiencing, and I get it now because you got to work as a team. I never got that, what that means, but and te koina taku whainga matua, kia noho pai au, kia rere pai te uhi. My aim was to be a good sitter. One, so the artist can do his art, and two, just to receive it well enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was my kōrero, yeah. And so for my kōrero, te kaupapa o taku puhoro, ko te rape ki au, ko tū horonuku. Ko te manu au te i whakarere a rāhiri kia wāwāhi ai i te whenua moana tama. And that was the beginning of my whakapapa, you know, taku whaia no te tai hau āuru, no te uru, hokianga, ko taku matua no te marangai, no te rāwhiti. So, whakapapa ngapuhi.
Cool.
Beauty.
Yeah.
So ko te day one tēnei.
Day one tēnei.
Yeah.
And it was good, ka timata moata, ka mutu moata.
Yeah.
Nā te mea, ko te mahi nui, hei te mutunga o te mahi tā, ko tō whakaora i a koe anō.
Ai.
O tō tuatahi kia whakatā. It was actually, that's the part I realised was,
And probably whakatau wairua.
well, koia hoki, all that stuff, you're bringing yourself down so you can rest, so you can do it again the next day.
Yeah.
And because at the time I was still talking to my whānau, like showing them, che. And then it was day 2, and he goes, right, we're going on your left leg now. And kei te, so ngaru nui is a short day, ngaru roa, that's the guts of it. It's probably 3 days in the middle. Yeah. And it was my left side, and it was the outlining and the high. And that took about 7 hours, I think. From 7, including breaks and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember, but he said, we did a real good day. And then he goes, we can do your pākatis now, or the little lines.
Yeah.
Or either, you give me a big day tomorrow. And even though I felt well, I knew my recovery was best. So I said, nah. And because I started getting a bit, ko tama roto tēnei, going, hei tā mea rā e, toru nahi ngā rā e, ki aia kia,
Yeah.
o ti rāno tāna mea rā. I was like, nah, ka waiho tēnā.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and so the big part was actually resting. And like I said, every day was about bringing myself down. Because, you know, your body's going through massive stress, and so your body, your chemicals are getting pumped into you, like your stress chemicals. And
Yeah, koira.
Cortisol, era mea katoa.
Cortisol, yeah.
Yeah.
Stress, yeah.
And even though he'd go, right, 8 o'clock, lights out, once you go to bed, regardless if you're not tired or not, just, yeah. And so it was dinner, go sleep out, I'm off, and because he's wasted too. Gordon's he's tired too, you know.
Yeah, man, big.
And
mahi.
It's the concentration.
It's the concentration, and because we would be in at times of just hours of silence.
Yeah.
And all you just hear is the humming, and I could tell when we were getting close to a break because he'd start talking. One thing I do remember though was, and especially on our first go, he'd put his hand on me and put it down heavy. Yeah, and it was really comforting. It was really grounding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he'd I don't know if that's just normal, but it felt like deliberately he was putting his whole weight on me at times when he could. And it was really comforting.
I bet it was deliberate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even our stretchers, Ron Peatley. And the other thing, one of his tikanga is, all the stretchers, all his crew will have puhoro.
Kia
Yes.
ora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And awhina ai
You better
koe te
walk the
kaupapa me
talk.
puhoro.
Yeah.
And so just because then everyone knows what you're going through.
Yeah, tika.
And
Yeah.
that's the other mahi of the stretchers. And he said to me, nā o tātou whanaunga, hā mua i tohu ai ki aia me whai taua whakaritenga.
Yeah.
Because they've got heaps of stretchers. And even though you're looking at the stretching part, stretching is the holding the kiri so you can get done on to our listeners. But they're actually your nurses and they're holding parts of your body so you don't have to engage anything to be relaxed. And the other stretcher, he'd do that. He'd lean across me, but he'd make sure he'd put his whole weight on me. And I really found comfort in that. I think it's because your sensations, and so your mind, you can take your mind to where the focus area is. And that's what worked for me, was I followed the needle. And ka maharau ki tētahi kuia, i te kōrero ia mo tana tama, Kiwi Reweti. Yeah, talked about him getting his puhoro, and he said he followed the needle everywhere it went. And so that's what I did too. And so I could...
E ki kuru moio kua taia ia.
Yeah, well, koe nei, me i ohorere au.
Oh, too much.
Yeah. And even those are hard mans, because I never thought I'd be that tolerant to pain. But yeah, I followed it. And every time my mind would drift away, it would hurt more. Yeah. The main thing about this, is being present. Yeah, it was really the most meditative state I ever got into, was that. And it is, you're really slow our heartbeat down. And so that was the second day, and that was a big day. And I knew the next day was bigger. And during dinner, Gordon said to me, he goes, so tell me, where's your mind at, bro? Because you're sitting well. You know, you're ngai te whakaiti, but another man that doesn't mince words. And I said, I'm just following the needle. I'm working on my breathing, clearing the mind, and just to be a good sitter. And just to be, that's your main goal, is a sitter. And then he goes, Pai, okay then, that's great. Now, what would it look like for you to surrender? And I was like, what? So that was our next day. And so he's using a lot of code words, or words that we can hang on to. And the biggest one was, two of them was, steady the waka, bro, steady the waka. So ko koe te waka, and ko ia te taiuringi, kaiuringi. And he's like, steady the waka, bro, we're only doing this piece once. Every stroke, that's last stroke. Every stroke is its last stroke.
Koe rā ne, kōrua is once you can't go back, I'm going to rub that out.
Yeah,
exactly.
So make sure he's not on the phone and like doodling and then writes down the number. Oh, wow, pass your leg. Yeah, and then the third day was a big day. Koia tēnei ko te ngaruroa, and it was a big day. We did pākatis on my left, and then the outlinings. So there's three, you go over it 3 times. You've got the outlining of the kiri kiore, or the puhoro design. And then you've got the high, those are the long running lines that go vertical. And then you've got pākati. And pākati, it's death by 1,000 stroke.
Wā koena, you know, I taku ki te i tō puhoro, you know, e whakaaro anau ki nā mea omua. And e harai te mea e whakaiti ana i etahi atu. But I like the old style of it.
Ai, koe hoki,
know.
And e koina tana aronga, koina te aronga o Gordon kia whakahoki mai tērā āhua. He goes, āhua, kaue maumau ngia te kiri. And he calls it gauge, so the space, the clear space between each ink. It's like kaue maumau ngia, but that's him refining his craft, ne?
I te mea ko tori te kautau ko atu, ne?
Ko atu, ko atu.
Koe tētahi o nā me tuatahi e maharanau.
His first puhoro, Pat Mohi.
Oh, yes.
Tana hoa pūmau no mai rāno. So mehi ana kia koe Pat. He goes, I hadn't even started, and Pat goes, do me, bro, do me. And he goes, oh, wow. But that's who was
I can imagine
first.
Pat saying
Yeah. And that's the main thing, because he'll covered a lot of skin, and he goes, what I like, and koina te taha auaha, what I want to see is from afar looks black, just like the pe'a, or the Samoan style. And then as you come in, you can see all the detail and stuff.
Oh, that's the beauty of his work, though. He's just such an amazing artist.
Yeah, well, he's refined it, that's what I mean. He's the guy that's practiced one move 10,000 times rather than 10,000 other moves. He's refined, he's mastered his basics. Kia hau nei. But that was day 3. Day 3 was big.
So, did you have any input into the design that you...
Pai kōrero pai tēnei,
Yeah, because I know that he already knows your whakapapa because you're related. Did you have any input whatsoever into it, or did you just trust what he thought you should have?
Awa, koina te mahi wahi ngaro I nai nei e hoa ma. So I had an idea, and I kept my ideas to myself. But, you know, as soon as you start talking, the Wānanga starts. And so we talked about, and I told him I've always been a fan and a student of his mahi. I talked about him, how he carved with Paki Harrison, tāne nui ārangi, Auckland University marae, and I knew about his kuri. Now, kupe is carved in the pautoko mano of that whare, and kupe is holding his dog, one of his kuri, ne? And at that time, Gordon had a dog named Remus, and he mate taua kuri, taua wā. Nā rei, i tāngia, i whakairohia tana ingoa ki muri i te taringa o tēnei kuri. And I told him I knew that. So, you know, I wasn't deliberate, but I was trying to show them how much of a tauira I am of his mahi.
Yeah.
But see, those things i whakatō etahi kōrero ki roto i taku kaupapa, tō mātou kaupapa. But no, I left it up to him. All he asked to, before sitting down, he goes, send me your pepeha. So I sent him my pepeha. Yeah. Told him about my Samoan side, which is not a strong side of mine, so I don't want it apparent.
Yeah.
But we found a hononga via our paituara and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, choice.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because, so he got that information, because you got the taniwha, is that right?
Yep. So
on those sides.
Yep. Arai te uru.
And then,
niwa.
what was in the middle again?
So my paituara, which is the last day, was kupe.
So this was ngaru pai whenua?
Oh, yeah.
Ngaru pai whenua is the last day.
Yeah.
So we go, so ngaru roa, big day finished. And there's a middle section. So from your puku down to your tō puke, puke huruhuru, and your paituara, so the middle of your back down to your tailbone, those are the last pieces. And that's the koinatana. Tikanga, yeah. Koinatana tukanga. And this is when the magic happened to me. And those were the days where I realised magic doesn't happen until you create momentum. Wa koina te whakaaro kia hau. But I just really want to talk about our third day. The kaupapa was that day was kia manawa nui. And in my chest, I created a ball of light and I made it blue.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was a big day. Ane taku aronga ki roto i ao anō. I worked on maintaining the ball to remain blue. And when it go to some high parts, like your inner thigh or kuha, and on your knee and behind your knee, and on your puku and up on your ribs, little bits would go, I can see it going orange. And so my job was to keep kia manawa nui and to keep it blue. So that was my focus point for my breathing and my whakaaro, And those were amazing. And then koina te wai hau mai ai etahi aku whānau i ko mate, they come into the studio, I saw them come in. Mentally if they come in, but it was great. There was only one auntie, she sat right in front of me and watched me. And then I seen other people just pop their head in and wave, and I said, hello, you got to go though. Because ka ngaua te nira, ka ngau mai ana te ngira, ka hoki mai au ki te tepu, you know?
Yeah.
But and that was...
And you know, e takoto ana koe? E takoto ana koe?
Takoto marika,
Tiraha.
Tiraha.
You know, he doesn't say, hey, lift your leg up, bro.
Nah, he'd be like, bro, head down this way on your stomach. Kona te tai, you know, ka mahi te muri. And then this way on yours, and you've got everything hanging out. And the bro, he's got your leg, or you've got your lava, right, you know. You cover your weapons and all that.
Yeah.
But that's the part too, because you're in vulnerability. But
that's right.
And
that's all part of it, eh?
That's all part of it. But that's all part of you are. It's actually character revealing. You know, it's character revealing rather than building. Yeah, you can build on it, but later it's your all, and that's your koina tō koha. That's what you're giving is your body, so you can be the sitter. But yeah, that was when day 3 was the hau mai te wāhi ngaro. But I saw my 2 older cousins, mate te tai, you know, tua aku tuakana. And that was the part where I cried, but I was like, okay, you fellas have to go. And they were like, gee, bro. And but yeah. And then there were parts where there was euphoria, I must say.
Yeah.
And it was peace in the pain. And then there were parts of just euphoria. But you get used to a part and then it would move. And then you say you've got to work again to stay focused on the, And then we would go into the inner thigh. And I knew we were going in because he'd start there, he'd do a little bit there, go to a place you're used to, then go back in there. So it weren't long intensities. Tana pānui tō tinana e hoa.
Yeah. E whakamātau i a koe, whakarite a koe.
Whakarite, yep. Ana, so he mentally going, I knew once we went in there, and even they said, he used a lot of swearing, but he goes, oh boy, you've been preparing yourself for a while. Yeah. So I knew, I was like, kapai, we're on the right track. Yeah. So that was ngaru roa.
Because that's koera te wāhiti no sensitive, eh?
Ai. Yeah.
Nā kūwha.
Kia kikini nei ngā wahanga o tō tinana, ka rongo koe i te ngau, koina te ngau.
Was there, kāre kore, was there, but kare kore,
Yeah.
oh, like that needle's getting a bit close.
Oh, you know where all your nerve endings is. Geez, I pēnei au I te tāia I taku kotore.
Yeah.
You know, I taku, taku repetātea.
Yeah.
You know, it was so right in there, man, and you're just like, is anyone going to see this part?
Yeah.
But when he was like,
Wow, waika hua ka tau.
Wai.
Yeah.
Nōna te wai mari e kono. But when he was pinning me up, I was going, hey, spending quite a bit of time down there. But koina te āhua.
Kia ora.
Koina tō whakatūwhera I tō ngākau ki ana mahi. Yeah.
Cool.
There's so many instances of tapu.
Ai.
I roto I tēnei, not instances, I guess, contexts.
Yeah.
You know, an application of tapu. You know, we went in your space where he goes in
Where
his
he
space.
goes, yeah.
Some of the obvious ones, your place.
Yeah.
You know, tō wāhi moe, tō wāhi noho.
Ai.
You know, ko te kia anei nā wā.
Yeah.
Atu I tēnei wā, ki tēnei wā.
Yeah.
Waru karaka ana.
Ana, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, kia hoki anō koe ki te tapu. You know, kia whakatapu anō I o whakaaro.
And then ko te whakatā anō, he wā tapu anō
He wā
tērā.
tapu anō tērā.
Whakatā me te whakangā.
Yeah, koia hoki. And there was a day 2, day 3, I wanted to do the dishes and go for a walk just for trivial things, and he allowed me that.
He would do menial stuff, eh?
Yeah, because I was just sitting there going, and koina tana pānui, he goes, etahi wā, ka here a ngā kaiwhiwhi ki tō rātou wāhi.
Yeah.
Because some of them, he said he's had to drag them through it.
Yeah.
Right? And so he goes, no, you're good, bro. So,
I te me ko tāna tikanga, ka tīmata ana ia, ka mahi a oti noa, ne?
o tinoa.
Yeah.
Hei ko tāna ki hau, if you're not getting it done, bro, I'm burying you in the backyard. That's what he said to me. But yeah. And koina tāna mahi nui, he arahi I te tangata kia oti rā no te kaupapa.
Yeah. Because I do know of some that have had these incisions, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was koina te haere I taua wā. And I think mo etahi atu he koina te haere.
Yeah.
He māma. You know, he ao huri tēnei.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for him, it's been better to have a kaupapa.
Well,
and
that's what you registered to.
that's what you sign up to.
When you,
Ai.
kei te tukuko I a koe ki te tohunga.
Ai.
You want that tohunga to do, or the anei ngā tikanga
Anei ngā
atawa
tikanga,
tohunga.
Yeah.
And koina hoki tāna.
Yeah.
You know, haramai ki au, anei tāku. And koia hoki tāna ki etahi, nui te hunga I etahi kaiwhiwhi ka haere ki aia me a rātou ake tikanga. And goes, nah, bro.
Ne rita ki te haere ki te marae o tetehi.
Yeah, koia hoki.
Ei, ana,
Yeah.
kei roto koe I ngā ringa o te marae.
And just as you said about design ehua, is like you don't take a design from someone else and go, oh, can you do this for me?
Yeah.
And they'll go, why don't you go to them?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I suppose, though, having done in that week for him is, like, for you is good to keep you there, but also, I guess, keeps him only concentrating on you.
Yep.
Rather than if he was to do somebody's rape this day and then the next day do somebody else's thighs, then he might get all these whakapapa muddled up in his head.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So it keeps him safe too.
Yeah, it's the flow, it's the focus, it's the kaupapa.
Yeah.
The whole thing is do all that one kaupapa for that time, you know, and that's the beauty of it, of doing it that way. And because, you know, in hindsight, this is only, my puhoro is a result of that week. The amazing part was the experience.
Yeah.
It was honestly the whole experience. And I know a lot of other kaitā doing that now. And it's an amazing experience. It's the connection. And because, you know, he hononga tō māua. E nā reira I mutu hake ai tēnei whiako kei Wainganui a māua.
Kia ora.
I rere te kāre aroto I roto I a mātou mahi. You know, hei ko tāne, cause I don't know what's happening, bro, but he rere pai ana te ngira.
Yeah, oh, cool.
So it was a big thing for us uniquely, but for the kaiwhiwhi as well when you choose that path.
So you know how, like, he's keeping you in sort of a tapu state by not having you help out with the dishes, etc.
Yep.
Is he also doing that for himself? He's not going and preparing any kai and stuff as well, or is he keeping himself under that tapu?
Yeah, because our kai tautoko, he had to go home every evening. Usually he's got 2 on board and they do all that stuff when he rests. However, he was cooking dinner and that was fine. He said he was fine with it. But usually when you've got more crew around here, usually there's 1 to 2 more and they do all that stuff as well because he's got to rest and he's as, you know, middleman as well. Sometimes stretchers will have a go at doing all your pakati as well.
Oh, okay.
Well, from what I've seen, And that's based on the crew. And also, because even his wife and son know.
Yeah.
So, ka hara mai a tūmanako, mihi ana ki a koe tūmanako, koina tana pōtiki, e mua i tana haerenga tiki te kura ka hara mai ia ki te manaki i te taha karakia. He do
cool.
he'd assist in the karakia where we'd all recite together. That's in a puka puka. Yeah, and then he would go, but we'd all have mihi mihi, and yeah, and that was his part. But his wife, Ivanka, knew she wasn't to come to that side of the whare. She'd,
Cool.
and there was only twice or once that she'd go, oh, babe, and it's only, I'm going to work now, something like that. But she knew from the other side of the garage she wouldn't come in. So she knows the space as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all, yeah.
Cool.
And I think the special part is that he's actually sharing his whānau and whare with you.
Yeah, you know, ia koe kōrero ana, te wai kōrero a koe i nei whakaroe ki te tupuna o nā huia. I haere nā kuia ki tana whare.
Ai.
I aia tētahi rūma i tana whare. Tana kāinga he had a house, a room in the whare that was for tā moko.
Yep.
And yeah, they went to his whare. But just recently, I was at a hui e rua wiki ka mahu nei. It was tā mātou puka puka. Tā mātou tō mātou puka puka. Whānau, that's got whakapapa in there. Anyway, one of the kraua bought a manuscript and I was reading it. It was full of karakia. And there was a little side note and it was about ngā kau travelling to ngā hape to do one of their tupuna.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, it's a good little thing that he, you know, he did. But ngā hape is just like over the hill from Wairaka. Yeah. E tai e pai, kore o tia mai te mea, I puta, ko kore o tia keti e tahi mahi wairua. Engari, you know, when there was at that point, I te kōrero mai koe ki au, ka rongo koe mo te rironga o patu.
Aye. Oh, yeah. And like I said, I was talking earlier about the magic happens after the momentum. And koina te wā. And because, you know, tātou, at the time I was looking for tohu. Well, you know, just having an area out for every time I go for a walk and nothing but. And the last day, ngaru pai whenua, which is the tuara, pai tuara and tātua, your middle section and your back middle section. We were sitting at breakfast and he goes, geez, all I can think of is kupe. Pehea o whakaro for kupe. I said, yeah, pai. And he nui tā mātou kōrero, mō ngā kōrero patu hohepa, mō kupe.
Yeah.
You know, ko ia tētai o ngā pau, pātaka, mātauranga mō hokianga, o hokianga mō kupe. So he nui te kōrero tia o ana kōrero mō kupe. So whakaro, pai tuara, ka pai kupe. E nā reira I whai hononga atu au tātou ki te moana nui a kiwa. So ka pai tērā. And kupe, and of course, because hokianga katoa te nuingo taku puhoro, te kaupapa.
Yeah.
So yeah, ka tāngia mai a kupe ki taku tuara, ka mutu ana te tāngia o kupe, ki taku tuara, ka pā mai te kōrero a kōriro a patu hohepa.
Yeah.
And ka timata ki te ua.
Yeah.
Ko paki mai nei ngā rā katoa I whakatū, taua rā tonu I heke mai te ua. And so, koina tō mātou pānutanga ai. Tohu pai.
Kia ora.
Tohu ora, tohu aroha mō patu. And so, he goes, ka pai, kia whakatā tātou, ka heke au I te tēpu, ka noho tahi tātou, ka karakia, ka poroporo aki tia tō tātou matua, and I mihia, ka mihia ia ka kia ki tēnā koe patu, tēnā koe tō pāmai kia mātou tēnei rā, e rongo anau tō aroha, te hekenga o te ua. Ko ngā haihai ka whai mai nei tēnei poroporo aki e haihai kiri mōu. And so we decided there we would put moko kuri behind kupe. Those are the hash marks that people might see.
Yeah.
And hei ko tā Gordon, I roto I ana rangahau, ko ia te mea moata rawa I taimai I ngā motu. Those were the first...
Kare kore.
Yeah,
First
the first
markings,
markings.
Kare anō ngā mea kia piko.
Kia piko. Kare anō te koru kia hau mai I roto I ngā mahi.
Yeah. You can see it sort of coming out in the marcation.
Yeah, koia.
Yeah. But the refining.
Refining of it, you know. And if we kōrero, mena he kōrero tai ao, I'm no expert on flora and fauna, but I'm not sure if there's punga and piko in the islands. Some maybe ma te teo koutou whakatika mai nei iau.
Yeah.
And so that was a really koina te wai rungo ai mātou I te aroha. Tangi pai o te tohunga.
Yeah.
And so we stopped for a moment. And then of course I was given the honour of carrying the moko kuri.
Yeah, cool.
Now the moko kuri is about, once again, ka hoki anō ki te kōrero mō Remus, tana kuri, me te kuri a kupe. And he nui te kōrero mō ngā kuri a kupe ki a mātou te hokianga, I waiho mai a kuri kupe, I ana kuri ki whirinaki ki Waima hei kaitiaki. And we've got a big kōrero in our mahure whakapapa about te kuri o te wao. And we talked about ngā kuri a kupe, e manaki ana I te ngahere ki Waima. And so he hononga katoa e rā kōrero.
Yeah.
So that's how we got kupe and moko kuri on my back. Yeah.
So ka muti te katoa
Ai.
I aha.
Ah.
I muri mai.
So ia rā, ka tai ia ki tētahi mutunga o whakatepenga o te kaupapa, ka timata ia ki te ki, tūruki, paneke.
Yeah.
Hara mai te tō, haumi e hui e tā ki e, ka pāmai tana ringa ki au, ko matu. And I pērā ia. So ko taku tuara, te mea ki Wānanga, kei taku puke, huru, taino ki taku pito, koe nā tō whānau, tō pāhara kiki, tō ake pāhara kiki. And I reiri, tīmata I ki te haka, tō ia mai, te waka, ki te urunga. E koe nei te whakaro o te waka, ne? Ko tai ki uta.
Yeah.
Ko tai ki uta. Ka mutu ana tana haka, mohi anau, ko oti te kaupapa, ka timata taku taki I te karaki a nuku tawhiti e kau ki te tai e.
Nice.
E kōrero katoa ana mo te unga mai o te waka I runga I ngā tūwā rangaranga, te hone o te wai, me te taipai ki uta. And, you know, te kura, ko te mauri a ngāpu he mea huna ki te wai. And koia tētai I roto I te karaki I tukuna e nuku tana mauri, o tana kura, kia hei roto I te moana. And I roto I aku whakaro ko patu te rā.
Yeah.
And then, after that was just like, there was, the third day, I want to go back to the third day, and we both got up, and he was wasted, I was wasted, and we just had a maniacal laugh. We just like, just a crazy laughter. And he goes, I know, bro. Fuck, we're nuts, we're nuts. Yeah, but I felt like that too at the end, like, yeah. But tāhua katoa.
Kia ora.
Tāhua katoa. I runga I te kauai, runga te kauai raro. Yeah. What an amazing experience. Yeah.
Nā koe.
Yeah.
He mihi ake
Sounds
ana.
Yeah, mihi ana ki a koutou. Yeah.
And I'm not even going to say, you know, because mehe koutou, mehe te whakarongo koutou, ko rongo rā koutou, I ngā, you know, considerations
Ai.
for you to ponder. If you're thinking about following this path, instead of saying, what are some things that you would say to, because koe nei te wānanga.
I think so, and koina taku, you know, if I can leave anyone with any whakaro is, well, how are you? You know, well, can you answer your why? Or, pehana tō puku, how are you?
Yeah.
You know, he mamai te mamai, e kore e tae te karo.
Yeah.
So how are you? How is your whakaro? How is your ngākau? Yeah, I mean, anyone can get a tattoo, pai ana. Kei a koe te tikanga, hei te mutunga iho.
Yeah.
Kei a koe te tikanga, engari, ki te pātai mai, I koina oku whakaro.
Kia ora.
Yeah. But yeah, wana mihi ana kia koe kōri, uncle. He said, call me uncle now.
Oh, okay.
House of Natives, IG, follow him. And all the kaitai out there, all the kaiwhiwhi, all the kaitai, he mahi nui. Mahi nui tā koutou mahi. You fellas are energy, they have to take on a lot of people's energy.
Yeah.
A lot of
That's
sapping,
right.
you know, so I get it, you know, and I get why people choose their way of doing things, because it keeps them in the best state possible, you know.
Yeah.
Koina te whakaaro nui.
Yeah, ara no te tapu.
Yeah, ara no te tapu, koe hoki.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pai tēnei kaupapa mo te roanga o tēnei tau ko te tapu.
Yeah.
Tō tātou tirohanga ki ngā wahanga e tapu nei ngā mahi. Ko tā tātou waiata I tēnei wiki e hoa mā, ko te waiata o te taitokerau. Whakarongo mai.
Ngā toke mata whāhua te waka o ngā puhi te ariki o runga ko nuku ta whitira. Te rua o ngā waka ko mā tātua ko puhi te ariki e. Ko puhi te ariki e. Rahiri te tupuna e tu mai ne tana whakatau ki e puke ana I waiho I whiria te paiaka o te riri te kawa o rahiri e. Te kawa o rahiri e. Ue one rā nāna I hari mai te wā hine whakakiwa roroto e kato e noho nei ra ngā puhita ni wharau ngā uri o reitu e ngā uri o reitu e wae meri rangira te kuini o ngā puhi e takoto mai ra i roto hoki anga nāna i kauhora ki unga toke rau e rimanga iwi e rimanga iwi e ngā puhi te rarawa e tu mai ne ko ngā ti whatua kei runga tāmaki ka huri whakararo ko ngā ti kahunui me te au pōuri e me te au pōuri e kei hoki angara kei tau marere ngā puna wai ora o ngā tūpuna kamimiti tētahi katoto tētahi ka huri whakarua e ka huri whakarua e hina maru te tūpuna ngati hine te hapu tōna whakatau ki he puke puke rau kei tau marere here here i te riri te rere i tiri a e te rere i tiri a e ko kawe te hone heke ko waka nene i haina tia e te tiri tia wai tangi ka haina ngā puhi putano i ona rohe ka huri whakarunga e ka huri whakarunga e kia mai nei kua ngaro ngā puhi wai ho kia takoto he tiko ki waka nui he tuturu whare nui ko puhi tani wharau ngā puhi ko whaora ngā puhi ko whaora haere mai e te iwi ki rungo waitangi kone tātau whakanui tahi ai e te tai toke rau pōwhiri te ara ngā iwi o te motu e ngā iwi o te motu e
E mihi ana ki tērā waiata. That was a beauty. You know, kori ana.
Kori ana.
Kāra ana, ware au, kei a ngāpui tana version.
Ai.
Kei a Ngāti Rauko tana version.
Kei a tainui anō.
Yeah. Ngā rāo hune. I was thinking, I wonder who did the tune first.
Well, that's koina hoki o ku whakaro, no hea tauarangi.
Yeah.
He rangi motuhake.
Yeah, and we did it here i te Matawā, not for Wānanga, but nāku tētai waiata i Tito, and it was during Seabed and Foreshore.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, pērā no.
Pērā no.
E tikina e au te rangi.
Yeah, ai.
Anyway. Tēnā koutou te hononga.
Ai.
Yeah. And you know, lucky we got that I roto i te pātaka, you know, Matihiko.
Matihiko, yes.
Ipurangi rāne, te kapua.
It's hard to find.
Yeah, I had a CD.
Yep.
So, engari i ngā koe, ko kāre he waiata i tuatu i tēnā hei tautoko.
Yeah.
I ngā kōrero i te rānei e kara.
Ai, mihi ana.
Me te ātāhua. Yeah, i au e whakarongo ana, I was like, I wanted to talk about some other things, but kei riro.
Yeah.
Ko te kaupapa.
Yeah.
Ai.
Ko tō Puhoro.
Yeah.
And the hardest part was getting it all in and trying to express the experience because they get so excited about it, but, you know, trying to articulate, but also find the kurahuna.
And that's the thing, kei tēnā tana whea ko.
Well, koia hoki. And, you know, this isn't a prescription of how to get or who to go to.
Yeah.
And kei tēnā. Kei tēnā,
Yeah. E mihi ake ana.
E mihi ana. E mihi anō ki taku karanga matua. E mihi ana kia koe e tai. I remember when we came back, I had just come back from receiving it and I whakaroa me haere ki a patu. And I went and asked Praone for his maro. So kia haria. Ka taria te kaupapa ki mui aia, i taua pō. I haere kirikau. I haere, you know, i runga i te marae ki te whakātu atu i ki ngā... Wai, ki te whakanui.
Koe nā, te whakanui.
He whakanui.
Yeah.
He whakanui i ai.
Cool.
Yeah.
Me te whakātu atu, anei te hai kiri. Te hai kiri mō.
Yeah.
I mihi anui tia. taua whakaro e rātou.
Yeah.
So e mihi ana ki te whānau hohepa.
Wow, ienei ka tai mai tō pātuhi and then I maharai me tuku. And then I forgot they had in storage, so we shifted everything into another storage, which I don't know, so ana, karaoke mate, I wai mare ngā hui ki te tiki.
I wai mare. Well, koina I rongo nei au I te mea, me mau. Me mau.
But nōna te whakaro, she says, me mau kui tōku ake.
Yeah. Orere, mihi ana kia koe tau.
He pai ana. Yeah.
Ai.
Nice. Well, e te iwi, koe rā tēnei Wānanga, koe nei tēnei Taringa, e rere tonu ana ngā mihi kia koutou, au tira, te māngai pāho,
Ai, tēnā koutou.
And that's us. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou katoa. Hei kona mai rā.
Hei kona.
Hei kona.
Whakarongo ki te tangi a te kori mako Kōrero flowing at the hook force Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds Kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount Nā kona whakapiri mai ki te Kaupapa tino whakahira Whakarongo pi kari mai Hare mai, o Taringa hare mai We gotta gather up close everybody Gather up close everybody Kani move that body Kani move that body
Taringa. He mea tuku nā te Wānanga o Aotearoa, nā te māngai pāho me irirangi te motu I tautoko. To listen to more episodes, search for us on your podcast app and subscribe, or follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Taringa. Whakarongo mai.